Lord. Daniel got jiggy with it. Daniel was out there with it?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I'm going to need him to back up. Yeah, I'm going to need him to back up. Let his O-line handle that. But, Daniel, he's a competitor, man. He's a fighter, so I don't expect nothing less from him, but I don't need him in that. I don't need him to get hit. Yeah, I need to keep him healthy.
So, guys, Peter, Kyle, yesterday Akbar was like, don't you love the smell of fresh cut grass when it comes to training camp? I love the sound of pushing and shoving at joint practices. You were on the grounds today. You said there was a buzz. Peter, walk us through what you expect maybe once they meet again today.
Well, I think Akbar could speak to this, and Kyle as well. During training camp, the first several weeks, it's just you guys versus your teammates, and you're up against each other. And sometimes you're in pads, sometimes you're not in pads, and you get sick of each other, and it might be a little skirmish. And then there's fresh blood that comes to town. And in this case yesterday, from what it sounds like, the Lions come in. They were in the NFC Championship game last year. They won 2 playoff games last year. They were America's darling last year. And they're not a soft team. They're a team that prides themselves on words like grit and toughness, and their coach walks the walk and talks the talk. They come out there, and it's full pads, and the Giants are like, you know what? You're in our house. You're not going to walk into this building in front of our fans and our media in Jersey and bully us around. Now, yesterday, Michael Strahan was here. Victor Cruz was here. Phil Simms was here. A lot of the media from the New York Giants said this is one of the crispest, most intense, best practices they've seen in like a decade. And all that chippiness, all that stuff that you saw, that's months of just hearing in this market that this team is in a rebuilding year, and that throughout Hard Knocks that they let Saquon walk. This squad right here, they're a proud team, the Giants. They have one of the best defenses in the NFC. And their quarterback getting in the mix, I think he's heard about him being not necessarily an alpha or a guy who represents the city as well, or this town as well, as people might have wanted him to. I think that was months of pent-up energy boiling over, and it was the perfect adversaries with these Lions coming in with all their machismo and all their alpha status.
Remember the major motion picture Bloodsport, 1988? Yes. There's a guy whose job at the Kumite is to get down and clean up after the fights, and he's got like a sponge, and there's blood and all this stuff, and he finds a gold tooth down on the Kumite. I was walking the practice field before. I found 3 gold teeth. I got them. I'm going right to the Cash for Gold thing in Jersey after this. Bing, 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 bing. I'm gonna be floating after the show. But I think Peter's right. Lions going to the Super Bowl, Peter, I'll put you here in Jersey on the spot. I was looking before the show, the preseason Super Bowl odds for every team in the NFL. The Chiefs and Niners are up there at 1 and 2. Where do you think the Giants are, 1 through 32?
28.
They're 29.
Wow.
29. Wow. The only teams behind them, Denver, New England, Carolina, and the Titans. So you have the Lions, who are top 4, and you have 29, the Giants, who are an incredibly proud franchise with a bunch of. This isn't some.
There's 4 Lombardis in there.
This is hollow ground. So, Strahan and Eli. So, like, when the Lions, the bleeping Lions, who did nothing for 30 years, come in here to Jersey and think you're going to push you around, the Giants are like, all right, well, now you got yourself somebody to fight. And I love it. And the fact is, in Akbar, you know this, like, all the coaches hate it until they find out that no one is hurt, and no one was hurt. So now they're like, okay, cool, everyone wanted to fight. No one's hurt, no one broke their hand, none of that stuff. So now it's like the weight is lifted a little bit, and let's just see some scraps, and maybe we'll see more today.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too, Kyle. I'm gonna tell you, like, coaches get fake mad when fights come out. Like, they have to posture like, this is unacceptable, we're better than that. That's all fake speech. Every single coach knows, and I'm gonna call in every single coach out. They like when they see their guys fight because you know you got dogs in the room. And I'm gonna tell you something. Daniel Jones, right before we came on, Jamie showed me like Daniel getting in there. I fools with Daniel Jones from now on. I don't think I'll ever say a bad word about Daniel Jones ever, because when I see a QB in camp against a team in a joint practice going in and pushing and getting physical, that's what you want to see. That sets the tone. And every single person in that locker room, just their respect level for Daniel Jones just went up like 2 or 3 notches.
I'm so glad you said that, because I'm looking at over our left shoulder. We got Dable, who's a mood. We watched him with the cigars and in the locker room. And then Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones was kind of teetering on, like, walking in with his backpack and, like, is he going to have wheels on his backpack? And, like, you know, he was – but all of a sudden yesterday, the tide shifted for Daniel Jones. And I love this Brian Burns sound so much. I want to hear it again.
Okay.
Brian Burns, new to town, and he freshly applied a term that I'm just going to use all season long, getting jiggy with it.
Oh, Lord. Daniel got jiggy with it. Daniel was out there with it?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I'm going to need him to back up. Yeah, I'm going to need him to back up. Let his O-line handle that. But, nah, Daniel, he's a competitor, man. He's a fighter, so I don't expect nothing less from him, but I don't need him in that. I don't need him to get hit. Yeah, I need to keep him healthy.
Burns said it right there.
How much pride was in that? Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
But you know
Lord.
what that was? That was respect and confusion at the same time. He was like really confused.
He did
but
that?
then he respected and said, I'm going to need him back up because, I think everybody knows that the quarterback wears the red jersey, and that means that, hands
Don't
off.
touch him.
Don't touch the quarterback, right? But every player plays this game with no regards to personal safety, except for the quarterback, right? They got to slide. They got to do all this different thing to protect the quarterback. So when you see your quarterback going out there with no regards for personal safety and getting physical with the other team, putting hands on them, oh, come on, man. Let's just bless that child. Bless that child.
Bless that. Oh, Lord. Peter, Kyle, to Akbar's point, can you confirm some of the other names that we heard that were a part of the fray yesterday? Because I think I heard Joe Shane got in there. And to Akbar's point, was Shane like, guys, keep going. Stop. No, keep doing it. This is great. Stop. No. Back up. Space.
Yeah, there was Amon-Ra St. Brown was taking on about 4 Giants at one point.
Perfect.
That's
Absolutely
just right.
perfect. On brand.
I think to Akbar's point, any other quarterback in the league, I'm not sure I am rah-rahing and saying that's good. Like, it's very specific to Daniel Jones that I'm okay with this. I think this was a Daniel Jones moment, and it's so silly because it's August 5th, and let's see week 1 what's going on. But, like,
He needs a moment.
he needed a moment where the fans were like, hell yeah, like, that's our guy. Yeah. And the teammates were like, okay, I don't think you want to see Patrick Mahomes in there. I don't think you want to see Bryce Young in there. I don't think you want to see any of those other quarterbacks that are of the 32. But for Daniel Jones, as superficial as it sounds, as schoolyard as it sounds, it was great that he got involved, and it was necessary. And sure, the first and foremost thing, no one got hurt, so it's important. I'll also add one more note. A lot of times when you've got these joint practices and there's a fracas or a skirmish on day 1, day 2, they'll just shut it down and be like, you know what? We're playing on Thursday. We got it in. Why don't the 2 teams just separate and we'll do 2? Yeah. They're going at it again today.
That's right.
And, like, Dan Campbell has history with Brian Dable. There's a trust there that, like, we're not going to do anything too stupid. Joe Shane has history with Dan Campbell. Like, I love it. They're going to go at it again today. And I don't think they're going to take the gloves off and just be, all right, everyone. I think they were like, keep that same intensity. We needed that going into the first preseason game.
You said, I love this time of year. You said fracas, skirmish,
brouhaha,
dust up. You know what I like? I like Donnybrook.
Donnybrook. That one I just picture like a dust ball and just like.
Yes. Can you? The Daniel Jones thing is going further than we might think. Do you guys have the picture, our production staff in Los Angeles, the picture of Daniel Jones yesterday after practice, meeting with the media? If I could see that, because Daniel Jones has a little bit of a different. All right, so.
Okay.
No, that's not really what I was talking about, but it gives the picture. So he's got like a little bit of a beard developing now.
Yep.
The photo.
Thank you. It is a little bit of a beard developing, and he's usually clean shaven. People are saying that like new bearded Daniel Jones, this is also, isn't it? Is different, and people are starting to call him Dan Jones.
Who?
Dan
People online,
Jones.
like Giants Twitter.
I like this.
Giants Twitter, like these guys who follow and live and breathe, these men and women who breathe the Giants. So Daniel is like left by. There he is.
That's the
it.
one.
That's it. All right. That was. I mean, that's all we needed. After the practice yesterday, and he was talking about, I didn't like seeing him messing with my guy, and I had to get in there. That's Dan Jones. Not Danny and not Daniel. That's DJ. That's Dan Jones. Like, he'll go if he has to.
Kyle.
And there's a rebrand coming up, and that's what I'm looking for. Yes, Akbar.
Kyle, I think there needs to be a maturation from Dan Jones to DJ. Just straight DJ. I mean, Dwayne Johnson is DJ, right?
I like it.
Like, that's it. I want to put DJ in the ring with Jake Paul because I think that's the type of grit he's carrying around right now. Like, those two, I got my money on DJ against Jake Paul in the ring.
Smart.
Okay, I like it. I like that matchup. What I think is fascinating, we're going to talk to him later. you don't see a general manager getting involved in the thing because with respect to Joe Schoen, the image of Jeff Van Gundy coming up, hanging on Alonzo Mourning's leg, you don't want to go that way.
Yeah.
He got in, he protected himself, he de-escalated the Donnybrook.
So
we're going to have, and I'm sure he'll love to talk about that, Joe Schoen, when he sits down. But
Fisticuffs, Donnybrook, brouhaha, fracas. What else? Give me a couple others.
You tell us, Twitter, what are we missing?
What am I forgetting?
That's one of
just
them,
the phrase de-escalated the Donnybrook is excellent, Kyle. I really appreciate that one. So Peter mentioned it.
Thank you.
This is all in build-up to Thursday night. The Lions and the Giants, they'll square off. And that was written intentionally at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on NFL Network.